There are days when it feels like your story has already reached its limit. The pain, the waiting, the closed doors, they whisper, this is all there is. But God is saying something different today. I have something greater. Greater than your disappointment, greater than your past, greater than the fear that's been holding you back. Don't give up one moment too soon. The chapter you're living now is not the ending, it's the preparation. Open your heart, worship with expectation, and let this song remind you that God has something greater waiting for you. You've been grieving what you lost like it was everything you'd get. You've been measuring the future by the doors that have been set against you. But the God who holds your story holds them all. God has something greater, something greater is in store. Beyond the plan you made, beyond the ceiling that you hit, God has something greater, and the greater already lit up in the eternal mind before the foundation of the earth. God has something greater, and the greater knows your worth. God has something greater, greater than the plan I drew. God has something greater, deeper, wider, coming through. Every closed door, every no, every detour on the road. God has something greater, and the greater bears the load of all I've hoped for, and exceeds and past what I can see. God has something greater, and the greater is for me, more than I could ask or think or even dare to dream. God has something greater, and the greater is extreme. Ephesians 3:20 says exceedingly abundantly, more than we can ask or think. And that word abundantly is not the small, not the barely, not the just enough. God has something greater, and the greater. More than tough, beyond the plan you made, beyond the ceiling that you hit. God has something greater, and the greater already lit up in the eternal mind before the foundation of the earth. God greater is extreme. Something greater. Something greater. Something greater. More than I ask or imagine. Something greater. Exceedingly greater. Abundantly greater. Above all I think. God has something greater. God has something greater. And the greater is coming. God has something greater. And the greater is running toward me, toward this season, toward this very day. God has. I've been standing at the edge of what I thought was all there was. I've been living in the lesson, not because the greater has forgotten me, but because I hadn't seen it coming through. The greater thing is coming, and the coming is brand new. Don't mistake the waiting for the withholding. He is not. The greater thing is coming, and the coming, he has not forgot the promise or the person. He has not abandoned the design. The greater thing is coming, and the coming is divine. The greater thing is coming. I declare it before I see. The greater thing is coming, and the coming is for me. Not in the distant abstract, but specific, name design. The greater thing is coming, and the coming is behind the bend I cannot see from here, but faith can see it clear. The greater thing is coming, and the coming, it is near. Hold on a little longer. Let the faith outlast the wait. The greater thing is coming, and the coming, it's not late. Haggai declared the latter glory greater than the first, and the weeping ones who saw the smaller held the thirst for what was coming, what the greater would look like in hand. The greater thing is coming, and the coming as God planned. Don't mistake the waiting for the withholding. He is not. The greater thing is coming, and the coming, he has not forgot the promise or the person. He has not abandoned the design. The greater thing is coming, and the coming is divine. The greater thing is coming. I declare it before I see. The greater thing is coming, and the coming is for me. Not in the distant abstract, but specific, name design. The greater thing is coming, and the coming is behind the bend I cannot see from here, but faith can see it clear. The greater thing is coming, and the coming, it is near. Hold on a little longer. Let the faith outlast the wait. The greater thing is coming, and the coming Thought I lost everything when the season ended wrong. I thought the closing of the chapter meant the silence of the song. But standing at a distance, looking back on what was taken, what I lost was making room, the room not forsaken. The loss was not the enemy's victory, it was preparation. What I lost was making room, room for the greater, the creation of the space that God would fill with something better than I held. What I lost was making room, and in the room was spelled. What I lost was making room for something God had coming. What I lost was making room, and the room is now becoming everything the lost was clearing out. The space to hold what I lost was making room, and the room will be bold with the greater, with the better, with the more than what I grieved. What I lost was making room, and I'm beginning to believe that the grief was the undoing of a lid that held the less. What I toward the space that grief created, toward the open, toward the wide. What I lost was making room, and the greater feels inside. I thought I lost everything when the season ended wrong. I thought the closing of the chapter meant the silence of the song. But standing at a distance, looking back on what was taken, what I lost was making room. The room not forsaken. The loss was not the enemy's victory, it was preparation. What I lost was making room, room for the greater, the creation of the space that God would fill with something better than I held. Every no that broke my heart, I counted as a loss. Every closed door that I pounded, I had trouble with the cost of the unanswered asking, of the silence from above. But the no was leading, leading to a better yes of love. Not the no of neglect, but the no of protection. The no was leading to a better yes, the redirection of the Father who can see what waits behind the door I want. The no was leading to a better yes, and the yes was in front. The no was leading to a better yes. I see it now. The no was leading to a better yes, and the better and the how was always in the loving hand of God who knows the end. The no was leading to a better yes. Around every bed was something better than the thing I'd asked for. At the door, the no was leading to a better yes, and the yes held more than the no could have contained, than the asked for could have been. The no was leading to a better yes, and the yes has been. Paul prayed 3 times to have the thorn removed. 3 times no, but the grace sufficient, the power perfected in the low of his weakness was the better yes, the deeper gift. The no was leading to a better yes, and the yes, the lift. Not the no of neglect, but the no of protection. The no was leading to a better yes, the redirection of the Father who can see what waits behind the door I want. The no was leading to a better yes, and the yes was in front. The no was leading to a better yes. I see it now. The no was leading to a better yes, and the better and the how was always in the loving hand of God who knows the end. Dreams have had a ceiling, I've been living under it. I've been asking small, expecting small, and sitting beneath the floor of what God has been planning from before. Greater than I dared to dream is walking through the door. He is not limited by the smallness of my asking. Greater than I dared to dream is the revelation tasking me to lift the ceiling of my faith, to dream the bigger dream, greater than I dared to dream, and bigger than it seems. Greater than I dared to dream, that's what He delivers. Greater than I dared to dream, and the giving never withers. Below the level of the exceeding, of the more than asked. Greater than I dared to dream, and I am no longer masked by the small expectation, by the limited and thin. Greater than I dared to dream, and the dream begins to expand to meet the God who wrote it before I arrived. Greater than I dared to dream, and the dream has more than survived. God saved the best wine for the last. That's the can of testimony. He waits for the appointed time. The best is not phony. Generosity deferred, it's wisdom and design. Greater than I dared to dream, and the greater it is mine. He is not limited by the smallness of my asking. Greater than I dared to dream is the revelation tasking me to lift the ceiling of my greater than I dared to dream. The revealing and the tasking of my faith to go higher, to dream the bigger dream. God has something greater, and the greater more than it seems. I've been living under it. I've been asking small, expecting small, and sitting beneath the floor of what God has been planning from before. Greater than I dared to dream is walking through the door. He is not limited by the smallness of my asking. Greater than I dare to dream is the revelation tasking me to lift the ceiling of my faith, to dream the bigger dream. Greater than I dare to dream, and bigger than it seems. Greater than I dare to dream. It doesn't look like greater from this side of the weight. It looks like the delay, the withheld, the arriving late. But what appears to be the absence is the making underground. The greater is in the making, and the making will be found. The seed looks dead in winter, but the winter is the work. The greater is in the making, and the making doesn't shirk. From the unseen, from the hidden, from the beneath the surface grow. The greater is in the making, and the making is the show of the God who works in secret, who prepares before he sends. The greater is in the making, even when I cannot see. The greater is in the making, even when it's hard for me to trust the invisible, the underground, the slow. The greater is in the making, and the making starts to glow with the purposes of heaven built layer by layer deep. The greater is in the making, and the making while I sleep is building what the surface hasn't shown me yet is there. The greater is in the making, in the underground, the prayer. The oak tree doesn't apologize for being underground in winter. The symphony being composed, the pencil and the splinter of the craft, the making of the masterpiece takes time. The greater is in the making, and the making is the rind. The seed looks dead in winter, but the winter is the work. The greater is in the making, and the making doesn't shirk. From the unseen, from underground. For me, trust the winter, hey! Trust the process. Trust the God who builds unseen. The greater is in the making, and the greater will be seen. It doesn't look like greater from this side of the way. It looks like the delay, the withheld, the arriving late. But what appears to be the absence is the making underground. The greater is in the making, and the making will be found. The seed looks dead in winter, but the winter is the work. The greater is in the making, and the making doesn't shirk from the unseen. Looking back across the years, I see the hand that held the plan. Before I ever knew I'd need it, before I understand what each piece was building toward, the thread runs clear and true. God always had the greater plan, and the greater always knew. And not reactive to my circumstance, not scrambling for a fix. God always had the greater plan, the greater in the mix. From eternity, before the first morning of my days, God always had the greater plan, and the greater always pays. God always had the greater plan. Before I lost the thing, God always had the greater plan. Before the suffering that opened up the space, before the no, before the closed, God always had the greater plan. And the greater was composed in the eternal mind. Before the world was even made, God always had the greater plan. And nothing was afraid of what came after, because the greater was already there. God always had the greater plan, and the greater beyond compare. Before Jeremiah was born, God said, I formed you, I ordained you as a prophet to the nations. The greater was sustained before the child took a single breath. The calling was already set. God always had the greater plan, and the greater isn't finished yet. Not reactive to my circumstance, not scrambling for a fix. God always had the greater plan, the greater in the mix. From eternity, before the first morning of my days, God always had the greater plan, and the greater always pays. God always had the greater plan. God always had the greater plan, and the greater I receive from eternity. The greater always plans for me. God always had the greater plan before I even knew. God always had the greater plan, and the greater coming through. Every loss, every closed door, every no, every detour, God always had the greater plan, and the greater is in store. I've been holding what was lesser with the grip of the terrified. The grip of this is something when the something hasn't satisfied. The soul that was designed for more, and the grip has kept me small. Let go of the lesser, and the greater catches all. The trapeze artist has to let go to catch the greater swing. Let go of the lesser, and the greater is the thing that the open hand receives, that the release becomes the found. Let go of the lesser, and the greater hits the ground. Running, running toward the one who opened up the head. Let go of the lesser, the greater is on its way. Let go of the lesser. God has something greater today than the thing you've been clutching, than the small you've settled for. Let go of the lesser, and the greater opens the door of the exceeding and the more than you could ask or think. Let go of the lesser and stand right at the brink of the greater, and release the grip that's held you here so long. Let go of the lesser, and the greater comes along. Paul counted everything as rubbish, every form of gain, every credential, every status, every old refrain of his identity. He counted loss for the surpassing more. Let go of the lesser, and the greater opened the door. The trapeze artist has to let go to catch the greater swing. Let go of the the greater God has planned. Release the grip, the lesser, for the greater that He holds. Let go of the lesser, and the greater unfolds. On the Friday of the crucifixion, it looked like the lesser had won. It looked like the dream was finished. It looked like the Son had been defeated, and the disciples went away in grief. But the greater began at the cross, and beyond belief. The cross looked like the ending, but the cross was the beginning. The greater began at the cross, and the greater kept on winning. Past the tomb, past the sealed stone, past the Roman guard. The greater began at the cross, and the greater hit hard. The greater began at the cross, where it looked like the loss. The greater began at the cross, where the price, every cost, was absorbed in the body of the Son, and the greater came through. The greater began at the cross, and the cross is the clue to every greater God has planned for the ones He loves. The greater began at the cross, and the greater from above flows from the finished work, the stripes, the crown of thorns. The greater began at the cross, and the greater adorns every life surrendered to the author of the greater story. What the enemy meant for evil, God meant for good. The greatest evil in history, God understood, hey, and turned to the greatest good, the resurrection Sunday. The greater began at the cross, and the greater makes a way. The cross looked like the ending, but the cross was the beginning. The greater began at the cross, and the greater kept on winning. Past the tomb, past the sealed stone, past the Roman guard. The greater began at the cross, and the greater hit hard. The greater began at the cross, where it looked like the loss. The greater began at the cross. greater began at the cross and flows to me now. The greater began at the cross. The blood, the vow of the Father to His children. Through the Son, through the stripes, the greater began at the cross, and the greater gives new life. I've been so focused on the asking, I forgot the receiving. I've been praying for the greater, but not fully believing that the greater was already on its way, already sent. Receive the greater, and the greater heaven meant. The gift requires a receiver, not just the asker and the prayer. Receive the greater, open hands, the greater is right there, already moving toward the open, and the willing and the trusting. Receive the greater, stop the striving, stop the thrusting, for what God freely gives to the surrendered and the still. Receive the greater, open up the hand of faith. Receive the greater, step into the greater space that God has carved out with every closed door, every no. Receive the greater, and the greater starts to flow into the life of the one who stops demanding their own version. Receive the greater, God's better through immersion. In the trusting, in the open, in the yielded and the free. Receive the greater, and the greater fills me. Yeah, the prodigal received the robe, the ring, the feast, not by working his way back, but receiving not the least. Oh, of the Father's gifts, the best, the first, the celebrating. Receive the greater, and the greater stop the waiting. The gift requires a receiver, not just the asker and the prayer. Receive